Well, hey, business building warrior, this is Jim, and you're listening to Silent Sales Machine Radio, the podcast voted the number one show for Amazon sellers. We talk about Amazon e-commerce. We talk about all kinds of great ways to use the internet creatively to launch and grow the business and the income stream of your dreams, the flexibility, the lifestyle. Man, I just love talking to our students who have gone through our training, built an incredible business, hearing how it's impacted their lives, how it's impacted their schedules, and just hearing their story laid out. And that's what we're going to do again today. We have hundreds of episodes like this, which is just incredible to me. Over 1,100 episodes of our podcast now, and most of them are interviews like what you're about to hear right now with Kyle. Kyle has been selling online for a few years now, found our community a couple of years into his journey, and that's when things really took off. He just recently had a very healthy 5-figure month at great margins selling on Amazon using the REPLENS system that we talk about around here so much. He's going to tell you where he shops, what tools he uses, all his numbers broken down. And we do this just to encourage you. And he even mentions it towards the end of the episode today. When I say, hey, what tips would you give to someone who's thinking about this business? He says, listen to the podcast, listen to all the success stories. Let that be a source of encouragement. He gives us some other really good tips as well along the way. I love that he started off very simple. He was just looking for clearance items at Walmart, flipping them online, sold a few books. He was just kind of toying with it, but he had enough to know proof of concept. And then he found our training that took him deeper into some very specific, powerful strategies. And that's what he's been using ever since. He talks about the power of this community, which, by the way, if you're not part of our community yet, why not? It's completely free. Get over to silentjim.com, just like it shows on the screen if you happen to be watching the video today, silentjim, JIM.com, and click on the link to join our free Facebook group. Tens of thousands of people in there talking about Amazon selling, talking about e-commerce, encouraging each other, inspiring each other, sharing their results. It's a very transparent and very abundant-minded community, and you'd benefit greatly from being a part of it. We'd love to have you join us. Well, let's jump over and have this conversation with Mr. Kyle Stansbury. Oh, one thing before I let you go, note he's using 3P Mercury, and arguably the greatest freebie tool available to Amazon sellers in the whole Amazon seller software universe. The greatest freebie is the calculator extension that Kyle talks about today that he's using. He'll mention how he uses it today. It sits right on any Chrome browser when you're on Amazon. So you go to Amazon.com, just like you're shopping, and there's this Chrome browser that shows you all kinds of information about any product you're looking at. Basically, you know, what would I have to buy this product for in order for it to be profitable at the current prices that it's selling for? It just breaks it all down and makes it so simple. Other people charge for on-screen Chrome calculators and extensions like this. 3P Mercury is temporarily giving it away, free, full access, indefinitely. So as long as you have it, it's free. Now, at some point that will end and all new users will be paying $30 per month. I bet you'd like to get your hands on that link. It's in the show notes. Kyle mentions it as well. I'll give you the link right now as well. It's 3pmercury.com/extension. That's number 3, the letter P, the word Mercury, just like the planet, .com/extension. And you'll see it there. No credit card needed, full functionality as if you were paying for it. No limitations, no restrictions. Just a fantastic tool. It gives you a little taste of 3P Mercury, which, by the way, if you use the full 3P Mercury suite, the extension is just a small part of that. Then you get all the benefits that Kyle alludes to today as he's growing his business and adding more ASINs, more products constantly to his business, and the software tracks it with him. All right, let's jump over and hang out with Kyle now. Sorry for the long intro, but hopefully you'll learn a couple of new things, got some good benefit from it. Enjoy this conversation with my good friend Kyle. So Kyle, welcome to the podcast. Good to see you, man.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Always good to connect with you. Love your story, man. Love your heart. And I'm excited to share with the listeners a little bit more about you today. So let's get into it if you're ready.
Yeah, so I got started in e-commerce in 2018. I actually started my Amazon account on January 2nd. So my dad had shown me an article over the holidays about someone that was filling up carts at Walmart and was able to turn around and sell it on Amazon. And I thought that was really interesting. So I looked into it and I got started, selling books through Amazon FBA. But I kind of needed the proof of concept. So I went to a Walmart and I found a few clearance items. And then I sent them in, once I learned how to do shipments. And then a couple weeks later, I saw that I was picking up a few sales. And then, that kind of gave me the proof of concept there. So I, just got started with, selling books on Amazon. And then, it was later that year I think in the summer, I found out about the Proven Amazon course, when I was searching online, for more detailed instruction. And so I was able to, learn a lot from that. And then by the Q4 of that year, I wanted to try out, retail arbitrage, what I was learning, in the Proven Amazon course. And my first couple tries, I wasn't really having much success. And then finally it just clicked for me. And I was able to, I think I ended up selling about $5,000 in that December, which was, a big step up from where I had been just, selling, a few books here and there. So
Very good. Very good. And what year was that you said?
2018.
2018. That's all still 2018. Okay, so that first year we've kind of talked through that.
Hmm.
And what's happened since then?
Yeah, so I kind of expanded into other categories, and then I went to my first proven conference in 2022. So that's jumping ahead, quite a bit. But that was really key for me to, just it just kind of made everything, seem more real. When you just see everyone in person, and I made a lot of connections there, and some of those, people I met, I'm still in contact with even today. So I think that's a really big part of that event, is to make those connections.
Yes, I love those relationships that develop. I say organically, but there's a lot of intentionality behind it. Going to events and connecting with others in the community, finding out who lives near you, for example, starting a mastermind, those sorts of things. Those are the people who tend to do very, very well in this business. So the people who intentionally pursue relationships like that. Yeah, thanks for mentioning our event. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm okay with jumping forward because I'd love to hear, 2025 is winding down as we're recording this.
Hmm.
How'd the year go? What strategies are you using? And then maybe we can say, what are you looking forward to 2026 as well after that? So yeah, let's talk about 2025. How'd it go? What strategies are you using? Maybe talk through some of your tools and that sort of thing. Let's hear it broke down.
Yeah. So this year I've tried to, focus on increasing my margins. So I kind of look for, things off the beaten path more that, they're kind of higher ticket items with not as much competition. And I think that's really helped me. Even if it's not super fast sellers, I'm going really wide on items. So, maybe just going one or two deep in a product as I'm testing it. And I've been building up my replens base from there. So now I've just got just a lot of replens that I can just go back through and um, and build out. With that strategy.
How many ASINs would you say you have, or that you like that you sell in a typical month? How many different ASINs are you selling against?
So I
Approximately.
think I've got around 250 activations, and that's taken a little while to build up, and then I'm hoping to continue to expand that to even bigger in the next year.
Yeah, that's one of your goals. I know you and I had talked offline recently about getting into 3P Mercury and getting more aggressive about finding loads of ASINs, right?
Yeah.
So you have a massive database to scrape. But right now you got about 250 you're keeping a close eye on that have been winners at some point or still are.
Hmm.
I love that you're diversified, inch deep, mile wide, right? That's what we always
Yeah.
say here. Don't overcommit to any one ASIN because you never know when it might take a break or go away. So yeah, it's phenomenal. So talk me through some of like where do you source? What strategy do you use? What tools are you using?
Yeah. So as far as tools, I'm using the 3P Mercury free calculator extension. When that offer was available.
It still is actually. Yeah, it's
Okay.
free. Yeah, I'll put that link in the show notes. It's 3pmercury.com/extension. Yeah, it's a great calculator for making inventory decisions. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And now that you've locked it in for free, it's free forever for you. We may charge at some point for all new users, but you're locked in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great tool to have, and it'll show you, if you're gated on things or not as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so I use Keepa, and then I have a repricer I'm using, and then I also let's see, I have a reimbursement service I use, to help keep track of lost items, that slip through the cracks. So I use Exceller list for my shipments, and then I have a tracking spreadsheet that I had purchased, and I use that for all my accounting. And I think that's pretty much it as far as the tools. What was the other part of your
You're
question?
Where are you sourcing? I mean, don't give away any of your
Uh-huh.
off the beaten path top secrets, but and as a general rule, are you sourcing more online, retail stores? Are there any popular stores that you tend to hit?
Yeah, so I've transitioned to mostly online arbitrage at this point, and I still source a lot from a lot of the big box stores as well. Walmart's, Targets, and so forth. But and then there's some other ones that are maybe not as well known for sourcing that I hit. So it's not a ton of different sources, but I just kind of have the ones that are good for me. That I've
Mm.
found.
It doesn't take many. You get familiar with a few stores, and there's loads of opportunity there. Yeah, once you know how to price right, and once you know how to recognize a winning ace, and yeah, excellent. Hey, pardon the interruption for just a moment, but I've got to thank our sponsor, Seller Board. How do you know if you're making money online as a reseller? Seller Central will show you your revenue, but it doesn't capture all the details, the refunds, the shifting fees, changing supplier prices, overhead. Well, that's why a lot of smart sellers are using Seller Board. silentjim.com/numbers is where you can go to check them out. It's the profit analytics software that's built to keep your numbers straight. Seller Board reconciles every sale and expense in real time. And with FIFO accounting, first in, first out, that means your profit reports stay accurate even when your cost of goods change from batch to batch. It now works with Walmart as well, so you can see your margins across both platforms all in one place. Here's the game changer as well for resellers. Seller Board's new reseller workflow scans products in the store with the mobile app instantly. You can check out your profit potential, add items to your buy list, build offers, print labels, manage inbound FBA shipments, all while Seller Board keeps the profit tracking accurate at every step. For just $15 a month and 2 months free trial, go to Seller Board's website here, silentjim.com/numbers. It's the only way to get the 2 months free, silentjim.com/numbers. There'll be a link in the show notes as well. Understand your numbers today with Seller Board, the accurate profit analytics software. Let's get back to today's episode. Yeah, once you know how to price right, and once you know how to recognize a winning ace, and yeah, excellent. Well, let's talk about, December's winding down. How'd your December go, 2025, and what are you hoping to do in 2026? Let's talk numbers a little bit.
Yeah, so I was, last I checked, I was around $50,000 in sales for the last 30-day period, and then I expect that the margins are around that 15% range, and that's been, it had been kind of slightly a few ticks lower than that, but but I think that has been trending up and, with making better sourcing decisions. So I would like to, keep increasing those margins in the new year and, just keep the ball rolling with where it's been going, with my sales and just keep that steady, going into the new year here.
Yeah, beautiful. How many hours a week are you working this business?
So I would say I usually shoot for around 30 hours. Sometimes it could be more than that. Some days put in 10 or 11 hours, but sometimes it maybe is not that much. But I like flexibility with this business, and where you can kind of just determine your own schedule.
Right. Yeah. What time of the day you work is irrelevant. Right.
Yeah.
And you've built a great foundation too, where you can pour more product into this machine you've built and arguably work fewer and fewer hours as you grow because of the tools and the outsourcing and such. But I mean, you've got a nice $7,000-8,000 a month income stream that you've built. At least that's the last recent rolling 30 days, which December tends to be a bit of a spike in sales for sure, right? But rolling into January, you've got a great book of ASINs that you're tracking. You're looking for more ASINs. You've built a beautiful system. I think it's going to inspire and encourage others to hear what you've done, man. So congratulations. You've got a beautiful business you're rolling.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. And I'd like to mention just having those relationships can really be key. As an example, just I have a relative. He is not an Amazon seller, but he's kind of interested in what I'm doing, and he had just shot me a text and showed me a deal that was online and wondered what I thought of it, and it turned out to be a great deal, and I was able to make a lot of money off of that. So you know, I thought that was really encouraging.
I love that story because it illustrates that there's benefit in letting people know what you do.
Mhm.
Tell them what it is, be proud of it, and share with others. The number of times I've heard, Kyle, where people have mentioned just in passing, yeah, I sell stuff on Amazon. Nothing more complicated than that. And the doors that open as a result. Oh, I've got this friend. He's trying to launch this product and his sales are okay, but do you know how to help him? As a seller, you've got access in this community, especially, you've got access to resources that a lot of people just don't have. And you've got knowledge and opportunities, and people will bring you different, not all the ideas will be winning ideas, obviously, but some of them certainly will be. So sharing who you are, what you know, what you do, that really can ignite opportunities. And how much money would you say if you had to grab a round number from that one short conversation where you said it was your cousin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. How much money have you made as a result of that one little short conversation?
around $1,500.
Yeah, just from a little
Yeah,
passing, hey, you should check this out. Okay, $1,500. There you
yeah,
go. And the numbers could, be smaller or bigger, but the point stands that letting people know who you are, what you do, what you're good at, that's part of the gig. Is this your full-time job, Kyle? I can't remember what you'd said.
yeah, yeah. It is. So it's for about the past 3 years. Been full time.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Yeah,
Well, it's a good flexible job. I know you're a runner. You need your flexible schedule. You put in a lot of miles each week, and you're a very competitive, serious runner. And this
mhm.
is what's allowed you to have that lifestyle. So I'm thrilled for you, man.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, other people can experience it as well. It's really really great.
I know runners don't like to brag on themselves, but just to drop it out there, you were able to do what you said. It's been about a week or so ago. We talked a 2:30 something marathon. What was that time again?
Yeah, 2:30:49 was
That's
the.
That's ridiculous. That is just incredible. So I love that you've got the income, the lifestyle to achieve. I mean, that's elite status speed for a runner, man. And so congratulations on putting together a beautiful life, beautiful schedule, and a beautiful business, kind of combining it all together. I love to see what those things running in harmony. What advice might you have for someone who's considering getting into this business, maybe some things that you learned later than you wish you had, any advice for people who are are considering this? I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but what would you say if someone's ready to do the work, they're serious about paying attention to the processes we teach? Give them some advice.
Yeah, so I would say, be willing to adapt to change. So that is key. And then another thing is that, if you're kind of isolated, doing the business, it can be, you can tend to become discouraged. And I think, listening to, podcasts, listening to your podcast and networking with other sellers in the business will really make a big difference, to stick it out in this business. And then also, you have to believe that you can do it. You have to just really be determined, and just keep trying. Try different strategies if you have to, and just see what will work best. For your situation.
That's great advice. Spoken like a runner too, because that whole endurance theme that goes with running, it's probably the ultimate endurance sport, right? That mindset serves us very well in e-commerce. You talk about being willing to change, always be ready to learn and pivot, as it's required. You talked
Mhm.
about the relationships, right? Listening to the podcast for tips and insights, always be learning, encouragement. Like just those themes are so consistent among people who do well with what we teach around here. The people that I get concerned about kind of take an opposite approach of isolation. Just, I'm going to study it. I'm going to do it. Leave me alone. I'll figure it out myself. I don't want to pay for any courses. I don't want to build any relationships. I don't need a coach. I don't want to go to an event. I just want to sit here and figure it out. That's a rough way to do this business. And it kind of goes against all the themes that you just laid out there. Listen to podcasts, interact with those people in our Facebook group that you meet, like you, Kyle. You're going to have people reach out to you and make a connection at this point. What part of the country are you in again? Remind me.
So I'm in Indiana, so just southern Indiana near Bloomington.
That's right. I completely forgot. We're neighbors, man. You could probably run to my house from there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, right down there at IU, man. Yeah, just down the
Yeah.
road. So now that people know, hey, that's the part of the world you're in, you'll have some people reaching out to you, wanting to connect. And that's a big benefit of kind of making your voice and face known in the community. And others can be doing that as well, jumping into Facebook, having conversations, finding people near them. Those things take your business forward. So great tips, man. That's solid advice for sure. All right. Well, was there anything else that you were hoping to talk about today? I want to be respectful of your time. We started a little late today, so I want to get you out of here on plenty of time. But anything else on your mind that you're hoping to share? I think we had to put together a pretty good episode so far.
Okay. Well, I did come across a Bible verse that I thought would, your community would appreciate. Being with the proven Amazon group.
Let's go. I love it.
It's Psalms 18:30. It's, as for God, His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all who trust in Him.
That is so good. Yes, there's that proven.
Yeah.
In all the years that we've had that word as a theme in this community, I've never had anyone point that verse out to me. I mean, I've heard it before, but I've never connected those two dots. I love it. That's outstanding. Thank you for that. I love it. What was that scripture reference again? Psalm
18:30.
1830.
Yeah, that just stuck out to me, when I was reading that. So,
Fantastic. Well, thanks for that, Kyle. That's a great way to end an episode, man. Send people off to read some of the good book and
mhm.
be encouraged. Well, God bless you, man. I appreciate your time. Happy New Year, my friend, and thanks for spending some time with me today to share your story.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. God bless you, and have a happy new year. Look forward to seeing, what will transpire in the coming year. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And please do stay in touch. And for those who are listening to Kyle and I have this conversation today, the listeners, thank you for being a part of this show with us today and for hanging out. If you enjoyed this conversation, if you benefited from it, man, we'd sure love to point out that we've got hundreds of interviews like this with proven Amazon course students. That's what this show predominantly is: interviews with successful students from the proven Amazon course community. Lots of good free resources for you at silentjimdotcom. Any of the links mentioned today will be in the notes for this episode, and we will have another great episode for you very soon. Thanks for spending time with us today. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for joining us today. I've got one last announcement. It's a thank you to our sponsor today, Seller Board. You can find them at silentjimdotcom/numbers. Hey, seller, if you want to know your true profits, Seller Board tracks every fee, refund, the shifting cost of goods, plus a full reseller workflow. Everything from scanning in store to shipping your FBA shipments. Pricing starts as little as $15. And if you use the link I gave you, you get 2 months of a free trial. Get started at silentjim.com/numbers. Thanks for listening today. We'll have another great episode for you very soon.